Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the TEQ LR Broly Universe Devastating Combat Power, and we're going to see just how good he is at 55% in the Hidden Potential system. Now, to put it quite plainly, Broly is probably one of the top units in the game. He's incredibly good, he's very solid, he's incredible at 100%, but he's still really amazing at 55%. I was fortunate enough to pick up Broly at 55%, and I can tell you now, he is still a beast. So obviously, we'll go through his details, talk about his performance, but in general, this man is still a machine. His movie boss's category lead of 200%, which is great, still unable to attack, activates the entrance animation upon character entry once only, and for one turn from his entry he reduces damage received by 90% as a first attacker in a turn, and reduces damage received by 70%, and it gives extreme class allies a chance of crit of 50% as a second or third attacker in the turn, and gives extreme class allies key +2 attack and defense of 60%, defense of 200%, and guaranteed guard against all attacks. Now when you transform Broly, that's when things get pretty nuts. When Broly is transformed, Broly, as a unit, goes pretty heavy metal. He raises attack and defense on his 12 key, greatly raises attack permanently with an AoE colossal attack on his 18 key. He has key +3 and attack and defense of 260%, reduction of damage by 50% for 3 turns, and for 3 turns an additional damage reduction of 26% for a total of 76%. Gets an additional attack and defense of 150% when performing a super, and gets an additional key +1 up to 5, with a chance of performing a crit +10% up to 50% with each super attack performed. He will launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack, and he has an additional 200% defense before attacking and guards all attacks as the first attacker in the turn. He launches an additional super attack as the second or third attacker in a turn, and he gets an additional key +3 and chance of performing a critical hit +50% when there's a Pure Sands or Earthbred Fighters category enemy. He will disable the enemy's attack action once when key is 24, and from his second turn of appearance he can proc his active skill, giving him key +3 attack and defense at 26%. He has Saiyan Warrior S, Prepare for Battle, Shocking Speed, Super Saiyan, Berserker, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power as his link set, and of course he also has Exploding Rage, Full Power, Inhuman Deeds, Legendary Existence, Movie Boss, Planetary Destruction, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Pure Sands, Target Goku, Transformation, Boost, and Uncontrollable Power as his categories. All in all, so firstly, I don't showcase Broly in his base form, mainly because the base form is just there for one turn. Give or take, you can sometimes hold on to the base form a little bit longer, because 200% defense and guard, that 300k mark isn't bad. He sits in like a decent position. Not that he's a first slot tank or anything, but you could just float him as a support, especially if you're looking to try to build up some of the other units that you're using. So there is definitely some ability to use him as a support, but what I will say is overall, I find that I like to transform, at least now, currently, with the events that are currently up and everything, I like to transform my Broly pretty much as soon as possible. That's just generally the consensus. I find it's usually the best for me, because in that situation, Broly's then quite strong, quite solid, very, very reliable, and just in general pretty good. So for me, Broly's in a good place overall. Of course, it's really going to depend on what comes out, because like maybe you'll want to hold on to that Broly more, and I guess it depends on your team. Maybe you'll want Broly to be more a support in the beginning, maybe you want to stack certain units, I don't know. For me right now, I can't see the apparent appeal of basically not transforming Broly straight away. That's just me. Like, even holding on to that extra damage reduction, I mean, really, like how much longer are you holding on to that for? Like 1 turn, 2 turns maybe? I understand, but even then, for me, it's not a huge train smash. And even in his transform state, like, okay, so you'll see his defense be like 300k. You'll think, wow. But the thing is, he's going to have 300k. It then goes up by 200% the instant that you set him as first attacker. So then you're sitting with like close to 600k. And on top of that, he has guard. And he's got 50% damage reduction. So generally speaking, even when his passive runs out, Broly operates at a pretty high level. Now, in terms of hidden potential system, I've seen people give him evasion. I don't believe in giving this Broly evasion. Additional, and then you can benefit from a little bit of crit, I guess. If you're not facing like Earthbird fighters or hybrid sand, you can only get up to 50%. So a little bit more crit does kind of benefit him. But for me, it's additional. The more super attacks Broly throws out, the more damage he does. And he only actually really has the ability to throw out one additional super attack. That's kind of the thing. He doesn't really have the ability to toss out like 1800 of them. In terms of links, honestly, pretty straightforward. Prepared for battle, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, all really solid links that are just really simple and easy to use. Legendary power, shocking speed is fairly consistent as well, and you get that with quite a few Brolys, especially the DBS Brolys. You get shocking speed quite a bit, and then of course you have Berserker, standard Broly stuff, and you have that's it. He does gain a bit from link leveling, like prepared for battle gives him defense, shocking speed, defense. All of them give attack. So you will see an improvement in your Broly if you give him link leveling, mainly in his attack, but his defense will go up slightly, and I mean, that's always a bonus as well. He doesn't gain as much as some other extreme units, unfortunately. That's just the nature of Broly units. They're not the same. They don't have big bad bosses, margin, things like that. But when Berserker kicks in, it is noticeable. So that does help. I mean, I've seen this guy hit like 45 million attack stats. It's really, really crazy. So yeah, bye.